In June of this year, Governor Hickenlooper signed Colorado's Consumer Protection and Residential Roofing Bill. This is a new law that improves the way roofing contractors have to do business. It also provides some protection to homeowners when the next big hailstorm hits. Today we're going to talk about the new law with the roofing experts from Academy Roofing. Academy Roofing has been locally owned and they're celebrating their 31st year in operation. They're BBB accredited with an A+ rating, and they specialize in both residential and commercial roofs. Kurt Boyd, the owner and president of Academy Roofing, joins us today. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Chris.
So today we're going to be talking about the new roofing bill. So let's get right into it, because it's actually a great bill, but now homeowners need to be educated on it.
Well, they do. I think Senate Bill 38 was passed this recent legislative session, and it was coincidentally signed by Governor Hickenlooper on June 6th, which was the day of our most recent big hailstorm.
Oh, okay.
And it went into effect immediately, so a lot of people had to, who weren't doing these kinds of things, had to really scramble. But I think it's important that, especially when people have a lot of people knocking on their doors and talking to them about roofing and roofing contracts, that they understand that they now have a little bit of leverage about things that they can expect and demand from those contractors.
Well, let's get into what they can expect and demand. Now, you guys have been doing business this way always, so it doesn't affect you, but it really will affect people, you know, like the storm chasers, the people that are only here for a short time. They just want to come here when the hail hits and then leave. They're not doing business this way. So let's get into, you know, how this really benefits the consumer.
Well, I think first of all, you know, oftentimes there's a lot of pressure on a consumer to sign that contract at the door, and they do, and then the next day they think, they call Haystack and get some good advice, or they call us and we talk to them, and they've got that second thought. So they have a 72-hour right of rescission on any contract they sign. So if they have the second thoughts a couple days later, they can cancel it. And I think that's a big deal for homeowners to know.
That's a huge deal. And I think a lot of people are under the impression that they always had a 3-day right of rescission. That, in fact, is not the case. So be careful when you're dealing with other contractors in other areas, because it doesn't happen. But now with the roofing industry, it absolutely happens. It's a law now.
It's right there. And, you know, it's interesting because, you know, some of the things that are on the bill, like the scope of work, you know, what are you going to do for me? What kind of products are you providing? What type of roofing products are you providing? Those all have to be spelled out now. The cost, and not just a verbal, hey, we'll take care of your roof for whatever the insurance company allows. There's an actual amount that has to be on that contract that you're going to be paying. And I think and those are things that many people don't even know that those things happen. You're required to have a physical address for your place of business. Well, roofing companies shouldn't be able to survive in an 8x8 cubicle. It takes equipment and vehicles and manpower to do this kind of work. So
materials.
Yeah, you know they're stationed somewhere. So now they have to tell where they're at.
Right. Yeah. Again, it's such a great law. Again, people now have a 3-day right of rescission, and also they have a 3-day right of rescission if their insurance company denies the claim, and that's, you know, could be a week or so later that the new 3 days start. That's
correct, especially in a storm situation like this. Contractor comes to the door, they make an agreement with the homeowner to do their roof, and then the insurance company hasn't been out yet and the adjuster denies the claim. Then that 72 hours starts over again for the homeowner. And that just takes that pressure off of them, you know, the commitment that they would have had to spend that money if they don't have the proceeds to pay for it.
Right, and people need to actually read the contract, because they can still put in there that, you know, if you do cancel this contract, you're going to be required to pay a 20% restocking fee or a 20% cancellation fee. So read that. They're still allowed to do that. Good companies don't, but read the contract to make sure you know.
Make sure you understand all the points of that contract. And oftentimes, again, people are under so much pressure to sign these contracts that they it's a sign and read thing instead of a read and sign.
Right.
And they really need to get the cart and the horse lined up in the right order.
And no longer longer too can roofing companies say, well, look, we'll waive your deductible. You know, a lot of people would do that to try and get your business, but they're not allowed to do that anymore.
Well, you know, it's always been in the conditions of the contract between the homeowner and their insurance carrier. But you know, I hear many contractors say, "Hey, I can't sell the roofs if I don't give away this deductible." And you know, if you're just buying business, I'm always concerned about that.
Well, thanks so much. I'm going to tell them how to get a hold of you.
Thank you, Chris.
Academy Roofing has been working in Colorado for more than 30 years. They focus on Metro Denver, but they do work in Boulder, Fort Collins, Colorado Springs, and the mountain communities. So call them today at 303-360-0708 or visit their website at academyroofinginc.com. Mention Haystack when you call and get $25 off a gutter cleaning. Their number again is 303-360-0708. Academy Roofing paid for this segment.